After just a short time in management, you'll undoubtedly hear staff utter those words, "That's not fair." It's sort of the bane of existence of managers. All of us have tried to win this battle because we really care about providing a very nice workplace for our employees. And you really try to be as equitable and as even as possible so that people really feel like they're getting a fair shake. It's just the human goodness in us. Leaders need to learn, though, that this is a losing battle. You can't get into the fairness game because you will never win. Fairness, by definition, is all in the eye of the beholder. What's viewed as fair by one won't be viewed as fair by the other. Here's an example. I worked in a department that had full-time and part-time employees. Now, all the employees took their equal share of holidays. The part-time employees felt like since they were only part-time, they should only cover half the holidays, while they had the same share of holidays to cover as the full-time people. The full-time people felt that they were an equal employee along with everybody else, so they had to take their share of holidays. As a manager, I could see both sides. I think everybody had a valid point. Ultimately, the decision I came down to was to split it evenly because the part-timers weren't a solid half time. Some were 3/4 time, some were 8/10 time. It would have been a nightmare to figure out just exactly what the perfect distribution of holidays were. So guess what? I just set it up where it was equal. Olmsted's rule of management, I don't care who works as long as somebody does. But let's get back to fairness. I don't want to be fair. My message to managers, don't be fair. Don't even try to be fair. You don't want to be fair. You want to be predictable. Think about your own career. If you've ever worked for a completely unpredictable leader, or if you've had to deal with a very unpredictable physician, it's nuts. It's the worst thing ever. Even if you worked for a very harsh boss, if they were predictable, at least you know where you stood. It's the unpredictable nature that drives people nuts. When it's a different thing every day, you don't know if you're coming or going, you don't know what to think. That is when people are most unhappy. So I challenge managers, try to become as predictable as possible. More often than not, I'm telling you this is true. When there's staff unrest, when staff are upset about something, if you talk to them and really do some active listening and hear what the problem is, more often than not, it's that they have an unpredictable life, because that's really all people want. And I guarantee you, most physicians, if they're upset, it's because they're having to experience an unpredictable life. So I challenge managers, how can you be more predictable? So some basic things like scheduling, vacation policies, holiday policies. I put as much in that in writing as I can. You want that to be a procedure that people have in their hand that they can follow, that so they know what to expect. So then, even if they don't like what you're saying, they at least can respect that you're predictable and they knew it was coming. I challenge managers, go back to your department and number one, think about the processes in the department that seem, quote, unfair. These are processes that managers get accused of. Favoritism, of being unpredictable, being unfair, things of that nature. Number two, applying this concept, how could that process be made more predictable? How could you put power in that employee's hands to where they truly felt like they were living a more predictable life? A predictable department is a productive department. Now let's go out there and make a difference.